Hello, my old friend. It's good to see you again.
ItsOcean.
Tally-ho, ItsOcean with another episode of Monthly Entertainment! And you may be noticing something a little bit different about what's going on this week. That's right, folks. I'm wearing a hat. No, but for real, I decided, you know what, it's about time we bring the goodest boy that ever did exist, the green screen, back into existence. It's been too long since I've done really dumb comedy where I put myself into a really dumb scene like, look at me, I'm in the Avengers, I'm a fucking idiot. And I decided to try and do this like 10 minutes before I was gonna record. But anyways, to get back on track, welcome to Monthly Entertainment, the show where I talk about all the video games, all the movies, and all the TV shows that I have consumed over a given month. And this month, this month got me acting up because this month is a bumper episode. I have everything written down on a post-it note just to remind me of what I need to talk about, but I have 3 games, 1 DLC, 1 movie and 2 TV shows to talk about today. It was originally 3 TV shows, but I had to cut one to make this shorter. God damn! The back of these notes are actually green. If I hold this up, does this disappear? It's invisible! Anyway, enough bullshit. Let's just get straight into this. Play the intro. So let's kick things off straight away with the video games. And to start things off nice and easy, nice and chill, nice and smooth, like jazz, I'm gonna talk about Let's Build a Zoo. Now, for anyone who has no goddamn idea what this game is, Let's Build a Zoo is a game where you build a zoo. Who would have thought it? So Let's Build a Zoo is a game that recently came to Xbox Game Pass for both console and PC, and this game will feel very familiar if you've played games before, such as Theme Park or Theme Hospital. So you start off with basically nothing, and you build up this cool zoo, and you can have all these decorations, there's like all these different floor types that you can have, you make a lot of money. Well, if you're playing the game right, there's fucking animals that you can have. I mean, fucking look at this! Damn, son, damn, you were animal! It is a pretty fun game that for me became actually pretty addictive. I downloaded the Xbox version and the PC version, so that when I actually was playing the game with my full focus, I would play it on console. But then if I was playing other games, like if I decided to play like Call of Duty Zombies or something, then I could just put it on the PC at the side of me and just let money and points accumulate. Because one of the things that you do in this game is you accumulate something called research points. Now, these research points allow you to unlock a whole bunch of cool things in this giant grid thing that you can see. Adjust my hat, hopefully I don't look like a twat. Who am I kidding? I always look like a twat. Fucking cactua. One of the only things that I can say that's bad about this game is in relation to the research points. It can take a hell of a long time to accumulate research points. There are things you can do to increase the amount that you can gain, but as I mentioned, I would quite often go and play a different game and leave the PC version running when I knew that everything was automated and everything was going to be running smoothly, so I wasn't going to be going under and the zoo wasn't going to be getting shut down and I wasn't going to be being arrested for crimes against animal kind. But quite often I found myself feeling like I had nothing left to do. Like I had decorated everything that I could do. I had bought everything that I could buy with the money that I had. I would just find myself leaving the game running on PC in the background while I played other things for hours and hours just to get enough research points to unlock more shit on the fucking checkmark me doodad, not the Twitter kind, grid of whatever the fuck is going on here, just to unlock new lily pads. Woo! So yeah, keep that in mind, I guess. It's a little bit of a grindy game. It's gonna be a time sink. The other issue that I kind of have as well, which is a bit of a weird one to mention, is the fact that this game is very hard to find information about on the internet. There'll be so many times where I'm like, how do path? What is animal? How zoo? Only to try and find answers on the internet and just nothing. There is, however, a dinosaur DLC where you can get these cool dinosaurs and this cool dino-themed park, which totally didn't make me just want to sit there going life finds a way. So yes, that was Let's Build a Zoo. If you want to go and check that out, as I said, it's on Xbox Game Pass for Xbox and PC. Proteus, another game that I checked out via Xbox Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass keeps me eating good. So Proteus is very similar and inspired by games such as Doom and Quake. The idea is that you're this space marine of sorts that's on like a distant planet or something, and you're shooting all these bad guys and there's aliens. It is pixel shooter greatness, and I had a fucking great time with this game. The only slight issue here is that I think this game is still in preview or beta at the moment. There is a lot to play here. There's at least like 4 or 5 hours worth of campaign goodness to play through, and then there's a bunch of community created maps. There's also, I believe, a multiplayer mode, but I didn't end up checking that out. And it is hyper violent. I mean, just look at this. So of course with a retro shooter like this, I have to talk about some of the guns. You've got some classics in there. You've got your pistol, you've got your shotgun, you've got your super shots going, oh yeah. Don't know why you're turning into Macho Man Randy Savage, oh yeah brother. Actually no, that's more like Hulk Hogan. I'm gonna say some really weird shit on the internet, brother. Just so you know, I would never actually rip this tank top. I love my PvP boys too much. Yeah. However though, this is another game that I checked out on Xbox and ended up playing on PC, because unfortunately with the Xbox version there is a little but... What? There's a little but? Why did I say that? There's a little bit of delay in the aiming or input lag. So yeah, the shooting doesn't quite feel as good on the Xbox version, but when you play it on PC, it feels... And I was playing on controller on PC, and it just felt so much better. There was a lot less lag, and it was a hell of a lot more fun to play. As well as the fact that it increased my frame rate somehow, even though my PC is a giant pile of burning garbage, which actually probably makes sense, because when the game looks like this, it's probably not going to eat away too much at your computer's resources. I thought it was a really cool game, so if you want to go and check this out, once again, that is on Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass for PC. And then next up, I'm going to talk about the DLC. Is Resident Evil Village Shadows of Rose, now no longer featuring Lady D. She's not in it at all. Not once. She doesn't ever show up. 0 out of 10, game is terrible, take it back, fucking get a refund, buy all the copies anyway, set fire to them all, because I love it, it's not in it. So yes, Resident Evil Village's DLC, the Winter's expansion, came out recently, and I actually checked this out over on the ItsOcean channel, so if you want to go and check this out, I have put myself in my own gameplay, woo! This DLC sees you playing as Rose, Ethan Winters and Mia Winters' daughter. Also, there's kind of going to be spoilers for Village, because this DLC does follow on after the end of Village. Just so you know, if you don't want to know, skip ahead to the timestamp that I put on screen to skip ahead to the next game. Alright, we good? Are we all good here? Is everyone gone? Oh, thank God. In that case, Rose fucking dies at the end, and Ethan dies fucking shooting Chris Redfield in the face, and Chris Redfield dies because he sees Jill Valentine and just explodes. Okay, I was just joking, but you never know with these things. That could be the plot for Resident Evil 9. So yes, this DLC actually kind of takes place within a jar of Megamycete, Mutamycete, fucking vitamin B gummies, whatever the fuck that thing is called. Rose is a teenager. She's probably like 16 or something like that, and she has been through the ringer in her childhood because of these abilities that she has. You see, thanks to her weird kind of biological condition, thanks to Ethan and some of the stuff that happened in Village, she has these powers, therefore she wants more than anything to get rid of all this and to just be normal. So she gets told if she puts her consciousness inside this slice of fucking multi-grain vitamin B, whatever the fuck it's called, that she'll be able to find an item that will cure her of her abilities and of her condition. So she goes in there and she's like walking around and stuff, and it's like, yo, Rose, we should probably go that way, and what the fuck? So yes, there's monsters, there's things that are trying to catch her or something because some weird shit is going on here. There's a lot of psychological Huey Bluey or some shit going on in here. What the fuck is Huey Bluey? Is that what the new Twitter's gonna be called? Huey Bluey? Sign up now for Huey Bluey, only $84. Now, what is really interesting about this DLC is that this takes place in third person, because the Winter's Expansion DLC also added in a third person perspective for the main game as well. So if you want to play through the main story again and play it in third person instead of first person, now you can, and that's pretty cool. So this DLC takes place strictly in third person. I do wish that you could have played it in first person as well. I personally quite like the first person perspective for Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 7, so it would have been nice to have those options, but so as I kind of mentioned earlier, fucking Dozy Rosie over here has abilities, and you get to see some of these abilities during this DLC. She's got like this hand power, and she's like, fucking Iron Man, uni beam. You can use this to stop enemies. It's also a navigational tool as well. You can open up new areas by destroying these weird bulbous fucking weird plant looking things. It's pretty cool, but I do have to say part of this is probably because of the third person perspective as well. This is not anywhere near as scary, spooky, or as atmospheric as the main game, in my opinion at least. There is one part of the game that is fucking terrifying, and I was like, oh, I fucking hate shit like this. No. But otherwise, the rest of it was just kind of, yeah, it was alright. It was pretty fun, I guess. I had a good time for the most part. But yeah, overall, it's a pretty cool DLC. I had a good time with it. It's only a couple of hours long. The DLC also added in some new stuff for mercenaries as well, such as the ability to play as Lady D. Never mind, she's back. Yes! So yeah, mercenaries got better at least. So that is Resident Evil Village DLC, The Winter's Expansion. It's available on every platform, basically. Now is time to talk about one of the big things in this video, and that game is A Plague Tale Requiem. Oh my god! Ooh, fucking I think I just came. So A Plague Tale Requiem came out recently, and this game is the sequel to A Plague Tale Innocence. So I'm going to have to touch on some of the spoilers from A Plague Tale Innocence. I'll only really talk about a bit of the ending and just like how this follows on, but I'm going to try and not spoil too much, because I really recommend that you check out the first game as well, because it's fucking amazing. Our good old siblings Hugo and Amicia are back, and Hugo is still adorable. Yes, you are. I love you so much. I just want to give you a big hug. So Plague Tale Requiem follows on from the end of Plague Tale Innocence, where we saw Amicia, Hugo, Lucas, and the siblings' mother basically leaving on this sort of journey of sorts on a cart, and that is basically where we pick up with this. Amicia and Hugo are playing in a field, just having a jolly old time. They're in a field and they're like, yeah, wait for me, this is the best day of my life. But then, as things always go, shit starts to go horribly wrong. You see, the plague of the first game, the rat plague, and the plague that's infecting all these people and killing hundreds and thousands all over the country is back. And thus, Amicia and Hugo end up going on yet another journey through this rat-infested fucking hellhole in order to try and find a cure for Hugo's disease, a cure for this thing known as the macula. So the macula means that lots of people are dying. It means that Hugo may be dying himself. This disease will slowly corrupt and kill him, so they are having to try and find any information they can on where the hell they can go or what the hell they can do to try and stop this for good. But one day, Hugo has a dream where he's on an island and he's not really sure what's going on. So he's walking along on the beach. And it's really pretty, I've got to say. It's really nice. This fucking game looks fucking incredible. And I played this on cloud, for crying out loud. But look at this. Like, damn, nature, you pretty. And thus the pair find themselves going back into the horrors of the world. The horrors that the world can commit upon the innocent. There are times when Amicia is having to stay low and quiet. There are other times when they're having to fight for their life. Take that, dickhead! And then there are other times where, Jesus fucking Christ! Oh my god! My hat! No! There are times when they have to run away from some horrific shit.
Who's laughing now? I got my hat.
The soundtrack is also absolutely fucking phenomenal, full of lots of string instruments that create this very anxiety-driven, blood-pumping score. It is phenomenal. And I can wholeheartedly tell you right now, okay? The The reason why I'm making the video how I fell in love with A Plague Tale Requiem is because this game was fucking incredible. It may very well be one of the best games that I have played this year. So you bet your sweet fucking ass that I'm gonna recommend this game to you. I played it via Xbox Game Pass. It is only on Xbox Series X and Series S for console. I actually played it via cloud, so you may have noticed some of my footage going a little bit funky or not quite looking full HD. It's because I had to play the game on the cloud. I had to make do with what I had. It is also available on PC though, so if you want to check it out on Game Pass on PC, it is there as well. Absolutely fucking incredible game. Like I've been wanting to spill and gush about this game so much, but I'm having to save everything that I feel for this new series. So yes, that was A Plague Tale Requiem. But now we're gonna move over to the movies. And as I previously mentioned in other episodes of I'm not really the biggest movie watcher. I go to the cinema every now and then with friends. Fucking itchy leg, ugh. But I don't actually watch that many movies. This series was kind of my excuse to make myself watch more movies. That's why I've included movies in this series, because it gives me a reason to kick myself up my own fucking ass and freaking get these movies watched. But the movie that I watched this month is Blue Miracle. I watched this movie over on Netflix and I had a pretty good time with this film. This film is all about this guy who is like a former gang member of sorts. He lost his father and ended up an orphan, but he's put all that behind him now in order to run an orphanage. Wait, that's just yakas. The dude runs an orphanage. He seems to be this really cool guy who just really wants to help kids out. He just wants to help out people that have been in the same position that he's been in, to stop them from having to go into crime and stop them from getting into all the bad shit that he found himself in when he was their age. The only issue is bills, because bills are always a fucking issue. Fucking bill-looking ass. So the orphanage is on the verge of going under. They are drowning in debt and water. But one thing that this place has is this big Blue Marlin fishing tournament. So the orphanage ends up getting put into this tournament with this grumpy, I hate kids, fuck all of y'all fisherman dude. And together they set out onto the open seas to try and see if they can win this competition. This movie is one of those kind of feel-good movies where you want nothing but the best for these characters. They've all got their own dramas, their own problems, their own reasons for who they are. But you can't help but feel the love between all these people in this orphanage. You can't help but feel the camaraderie throughout this movie. As well as the fact that I'm in the movie. That's me, Ocean, there I am. But yes, Blue Miracle was a really good time. I had a really good time with it. I think it was a pretty cool movie and I would highly recommend it. So if you want to go and check that out, that was on Netflix. Oh God, it's so warm in here. It is November, why is it so warm in here? So now, let's move over to Le Television shows. And I have two. I nearly put both hands up, that would have been four. Scissor me, daddy. And the first one is a comedy show. Now, I finally got around to checking out What We Do in the Shadows. Booyah! Fucking loved this show. It is goddamn hilarious. It's currently 4 seasons in and I believe it's supposed to be getting a 5th and a 6th season. Super excited to see that. So basically the premise here is this TV show is about vampires. It's a satirical, silly, goofy show about a bunch of vampires that live together. And it includes my favourite character, Matt Berry.
I now go by the name of Daytona, Jackie Daytona.
Now, What We Do in the Shadows is set in Staten Island, which is near
New York City.
There's this big spooky mansion, you've got these 3 main vampires living in there, but then you've also got Mr. Robinson over here, who is an energy vampire. He just talks your ear off and talks your ear off and drains you of your energy the whole time. And he takes a lot of pride in doing it. And oh God. You've got Matt Berry over here with his wife Nadja, who are just fucking sex obsessed.
Genitalia on show there that would make a human go, what is that exactly?
Here we have a sculpture which depicts the moment that my parents conceived me.
Stroke your cock.
And then you've got Nandor.
We drank the blood of some people, but the people were on drugs. And now I'm a wizard.
And then there's also Nandor's familiar, Guillermo.
Gizmo, get the dildos. Gizmo, try out the dildos. How are the dildos? They're fine.
And I love Guillermo. I think he's a really cool character. I always want the best for him, but it's a comedy show and he is meant to be the butt of the joke, kind of. He's the human amongst the vampires. So they make fun of him. They're like, oh, we do not care what you think, Guillermo. Go away, you smelly human. And he's just like...
That's what we're doing now?
And during this show, they get into all sorts of hijinks, all sorts of shenanigans. What are they like, them vampires? The show is also either directed or produced by, I can't remember which one, Taika Waititi. So if you've seen anything to do with Taika Waititi before, you'll know exactly what to expect from the show. But I had a really good time with it. I have really enjoyed my time with the show. So that was What We Do in the Shadows. Very good show, very fun. I watched the show over on Disney+. Now last, but not least, I'm fucking tripping over my damn green screen because it's not straight. Like me! What's the last thing that I'm here to talk about today? I'm gonna talk about The Sopranos.
Woke up this morning, got some gabagoo.
It's a show I still haven't seen yet, but I'm gonna watch it at some point, and I'm probably gonna talk about it on Month of Entertainment. The actual show that I'm here to talk about is Better Call Saul. I went ahead and I binge watched the whole show over the space of a few months, and I have got to say, I actually think I might like this show more than Breaking Bad. I remember hearing that they were making a show about the lawyer, the silly lawyer guy from Breaking Bad, Saul Goodman. Let's make a show about him, and I thought, I don't know, okay, sure. But what came of this show is one of the best shows I've seen in quite a fucking while. It was fucking phenomenal. Full of drama, full of great characters and character arcs, full of crime. So for anyone who doesn't know anything about any of the stuff I just said, Better Call Saul is a spin-off show from Breaking Bad. Saul was one of the characters in Breaking Bad. He was a lawyer character. With this, they made a prequel show, which is Better Call Saul. So you can bet your sweet fucking clappable fucking ass. Fucking yeah! That there are gonna be some great fucking cameos in this, and some new characters with some cool new actors, such as my man Michael Mando over here, who, if you recognise his face, this motherfucker was Vas Montenegro in Far Cry 3. Hell yes. This guy is brilliant, and he's brilliant once again in Better Call Saul. One of the standout actors in my opinion. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about the story of Better Call Saul without any spoilers, Saul is actually named Jimmy McGill. James McGill, that is his proper name. So he is a lawyer who is trying his goddamn bestest to turn his life around. You see, he used to be a hustler, one of the players who would basically rob as much money as he could off everyone that he could in any way that he could. And he got a kick out of it. He got a thrill out of doing this, out of lying, out of manipulating, out of doing all this crazy shit to make money. So in order to try and impress his older brother, he decides to put all that behind him and become a lawyer. The only problem is, this isn't going fucking well for him at all. And this is what the whole show is basically about. It's about Jimmy McGill always trying to find a way to come out on top of all the shitty situations that he finds himself in. He's also joined by other characters. As I mentioned, there's his brother, there's another lawyer who's part of a big firm who works with his brother called Howard Hamlin.
Yes, those were Howard Hamlin's toes you just saw.
And then there is also Kim Wexler, who is... What? Kim Wexler, one of Jimmy's close friends, who's probably one of the only people here that is actually on his side, that is someone that actually wants to help him, that wants him to find the help that he needs and wants him to have a better life, while everyone else just kicks him while he's on the fucking ground, you piece of shit, Jimmy. It can be quite a sad story at times. There are moments where things can be kind of funny, there are moments where things can be kind of sad, but overall it is a fucking fantastic and tense character drama that really does justice to the character of Jimmy McGill, aka Saul Goodman. It fleshes out some of these characters and adds more to the overall ethos of this world, and I thought it was a fucking phenomenal show, probably one of the best shows that I have watched all year. So I highly motherfucking recommend this goddamn show right here. So yes, that is Better Call Saul. If you want to go and check that out, I checked it out over on Netflix. Whew! And thus ends another episode of A lot of stuff to talk about this month. It's been a pretty good month. But anywho, let me know what you think about the green screen. Do you like that I'm bringing this back? Do you like the idea of me doing monthly entertainment with this, where I can like, look at me, I'm walking in an anime scene. Isn't this cool? I'm in Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Woo! Fucking, where we dropping, boys? I'm in Fortnite. But anyways, let me know what you think about any of the stuff that I talked about in this video. But thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Pip pip toodaloo! Back home then, I guess. Under the sea.